Hello, hello, my amazing YouTube community. Welcome back to the E portion of Tell Joanne. I am your girl, Joanne. Guys, today's request, it is via PayPal and it is by Barbara. Hello, 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 Barbara. Barbara has requested for us to listen to Janis Ian, and the song that she recommended is Society's Child. So Barbara said that Janis wrote this song when she was 14 years old. My eyes did pop out. And Barbara was like, yes, Joanne. Yes, 14 years old. So I'm very excited to hear the song. And right after we do, I share. So if you are part of the family, aka you're already subscribed, then you know what we're about to do. But if you're new to the channel, this is when I say hello, hello, hello. Now put me on pause to get yourself a beverage of choice. Hit that subscribe button so that you can become part of this amazing community. And on a count of three, we'll do our charity. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Guys, if you see, I stumbled my words because I wanted to share something with you guys. And that is that I actually, thank you to you, Barbara. You didn't realize that I was actually going down Janis's rabbit hole. And I actually have an interview of her where she talks about 17. So I have a couple of interviews that are coming up. Barbara, I will be sending that interview to you before I send it to everybody else. So look out for that. So without further talking, let's get to Society's Child. That is such an interesting title. I'm getting some amazing titles lately. All right, enough talking. Let's go, Joanne. First time reaction.
What's the next order on the agenda?
Well, we're going to present an extremely talented and very amazing young lady named Janis Ian. Now, she's going to sing her own composition. It's a beautiful song, Society's Child.
Society.
Come to my door, baby. Face is clean and shining black as night. My mother went to answer, you know that you look so fine. Now I could understand your tears and your shame. She called you boy instead of your name when she wouldn't let you inside. When she turned and said, but honey, he's not our kind. She says, I can't see you anymore, baby. Can't see you anymore. Walk me down to school, baby. Everybody's acting deaf and blind until they turn and say, why don't you just stick to your own kind? My teachers all laughed, they're smirking stares, cutting deep down in our affairs. Preachers of equality think they believe.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to pause this. I'm listening to her sing this, and it's coming to me again, Barbara. You said she wrote this at 14 years old. At 14 years old. Wow. And it's so crazy. So I see the date on this and it says 1967. And the fact that she's on the show and she's singing this song, she's singing reality, right? Which is a perfect name for a Society Child. She's singing in reality and they're letting her. That's a huge accomplishment. I was going to say I'm surprised, but that's a huge accomplishment because at that time, this is the type of songs that needs to be told, right? That, you know, certain community want this song to be told, and then other communities are like, no, do not. Let's put a blind eye to it. So I'm so blown away in so many different levels. Number one is that she's 14, writing such conscious thinking, such conscious writing to be able to write that. And I'm wondering if that is part of her experience, her life experience that she is writing at 14 years old, right? And it's interesting to see the way she's talking about the perspective that she's talking about. She's talking about the perspective of the girl, which I'm assuming she must be, of some type of Caucasian, and clearly the boy is black because of how she described his face in the beginning. And wow, 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 wow. I'm absolutely blown away that a that she wrote that at that age, and b that to be honest, with the era that was going on and that she's on the show. I don't know what the show is, but now I'm definitely need to see the show because this is clearly a very progressive show that she's singing it. Like, wow. And then of course her voice is absolutely amazing. And she is so beautiful. She's definitely beautiful. And it's funny because like I think I said in the beginning of this video that I'm watching documentary of her. So I see her at an older age, and then to see her younger is definitely a pleasure, a pleasure. So thank you very much, Barbara, for recommending this video. I'm just going to go back a little bit and continue to hear the story. And of course, as she's saying it, she's doing a storytelling way of saying it. All right, let me go back a little bit.
Preachers of equality think they believe it, then why won't they just let us be? They say I can't see you anymore, baby. Can't see you anymore. One of these days I'm gonna stop my listening, gonna raise my head up high. One of these days I'm gonna raise my listening wings and fly. But that day will have to wait for a while. Baby, I'm only society's child. When we're older, things may change, but for now, this is the way they must remain. I say I can't see you anymore, baby. Can't see you anymore. No, I won't see you
Wow. She's absolutely amazing. She is so brave in her truth. It's interesting. I'm watching this video, and I guess I'm gonna do a little story time. I'm sharing. So, I grew up with my dad, and I think my dad, like, I definitely am very lucky of my upbringing with him. And I felt like my dad is the type of person who always saw people as people, right? He did not see race. And so he dated outside of his race. And so therefore, I grew up dating outside of my race as well. And it's so interesting because I'm hearing her story. And like I said, from what I'm getting from her story, seemed like it's a white girl and the guy's black. And then so that whole thing is going on. And it's interesting because for me personally, and I said I've dated outside of my race, I have never experienced racism or any of those things from a white culture. Interestingly enough, I have experienced racism from my culture, right? From my culture and from other minorities. So in my little storytelling, I remember in college, I dated this boy, a white boy, and he's like white country, okay? Absolutely white country, blue eyes, blonde hair, country 100%. And, he may not be so attractive for other people, but for me, he was absolutely handsome, absolutely attractive. And it's so interesting because I would remember when we would go out, and we dated for quite a few years. As we went out, it's interesting that he experienced racism outside, as opposed to me experiencing racism. I've never had any white person come to me or anyone look at me like, oh my God, you're dating a white boy or this and that. But it was interesting that a lot of black guys, and I was in college, and it would be black guys, not only college, but older black guys who would show him racism. They wouldn't say anything to him, to me, but they would treat him a certain way. And it was funny because I was always outspoken, so I wouldn't even let him stand up for himself, because I would go and I would just tell them off or whatever it is, which I learned later on, and him and I would talk about it. But it is so interesting to hear her story, and to know my story, and to really see that society's child, right? My parents, like I said, people in my household were very accepting as that, but it was interesting to be on the train, to be out, and to see how they would look at him, and they would be like, oh my God, you're such a pretty black girl. Why are you dating him? And I would get so angry. And I could like imagine the way that he felt. You know what I mean? And not only did I imagine, actually, we did talk, we would process just that experience, and just how horrible people are, because they want to judge you for your skin, right? They want to judge you from your skin, as opposed to the character, as opposed to anything else. Like it's a long story. I don't think I'll go too much into depth on this video with that. But I guess I'm saying all this to say that, like, Janis is just absolutely amazing. Like, the more that I hear about her, the more that I learn about her, I'm just absolutely blown away. Not just because of her voice, but just because of what she stood for. You know what I mean? Ooh, I feel like I'm getting emotional, so I'm gonna end the video right now. So Barbara, thank you very much for woo, y'all. Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna cry on this video. So thank you very much for introducing her to the channel, and for introducing this video to the channel, and for your support. And I truly appreciate you from the very bottom of my heart. On that note, I'm gonna see you guys on the next reaction.